Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, thank you so much for coming here on this early morning hours and then joining us. And let me tell you that I'm very excited today. And I really think that you also are excited, and you will be more excited when you will walk through the day for the various sessions that we have planned here today. I really, say that a warm welcome to all of you. Not only all of you who are present in this room, but you know that this particular session is also being shared, virtually to many other people who are logging into our website and trying to see this. I even welcome all of them who are virtually getting connected to this session, and so that you can take it as a much more learning session throughout the entire day. Now, before we go, a little bit further, let me tell you that, she has mentioned that the Dell Storage Forum is one of the industry's premium event that we are doing, and this is one of the first time of its kind that we are doing it in India, and we are starting it with Mumbai. And if you look at, we are saying that it is a fluid by design. So I want to take half a minute of your time and then share that the concept of fluid is basically coming from the perspective that the data, which is the most digital information, which is the most important component of our business, is no more getting stuck to a media the way we have believed over a couple of decades. So what I mean is that you need to see that how we are driving innovations within our organization to make lots of feature available in such a way that the most important component of your business, which is the digital information or the data, is not getting stuck to a media, but it can go ahead and reside to the right media at a right time, at a right place, and at a right cost. And that is exactly what is the theme of our, this entire storage event today. Now, throughout the day, you will get to hear from, a couple of our executives who will share the vision behind our various development that we are doing, various innovation that we are driving as part of our product line. You will also see a couple of our technical experts who will come and share the deep dives of technology offering that we are doing as part of our storage solution. And one key important thing is that outside of this room, there are a couple of hands-on lab being set up. I want to encourage all of you to go ahead and spend some time during your free time and learn from these experts, learn how the innovations that we are driving as part of our Dell storage solution, how the integration of all these things with different type of applications and different type of component, can really benefit you in your journey when you will try to improve your IT infrastructure. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so much. An agenda for the day, you might have already seen that, so we will get to hear from our executives. There will be adequate amount of breaks for tea and lunch. We will have a Gartner sharing us a perspective of what are the trends in storage. We will have experts coming and they're also talking about, and there are hands-on sessions. So please take advantage of all the sessions which are available today. So welcome again all who are present here as well as all who are connected over the live media streaming. Right? Now, let me share a simple perspective of what we say in Dell is that doing more with efficient IT. Now, in general, you might have also seen that many a time, we get stuck in a situation thinking that IT is too complicated, right? Now, as part of our innovation journey that we have, the transformation that we are also driving within our organization, and also telling our partners and our customers that, let us see how we can have a strategy to have an efficient IT, how we can shift from operations to innovation, how we can do more with what we have, so that, we can get much more efficiency as part of our investment and infrastructure. Now, how the journey goes. So, before I get into the core of the IT part, if you try to stand here and look at what are the changes or challenges which are happening in a pretty fast manner around us. The world will get smaller. Actually, it is getting smaller, right? The amount of connectivity modes and the devices which are being available today through which each one of us can get connected to any portion of the world, and that is what is becoming a normal expectation from everybody. So, right, in any time, anywhere connectivity, anytime, anywhere access to our applications, to our IT infrastructure is becoming a normal expectation even for the kids, right? You will see that everything is getting faster. It is not only just getting getting faster from the handheld device, it is even getting faster from the perspective of where the core of the data center like storage is also being set up as part of the infrastructure, right? Now, while a couple of such dynamics are happening in a pretty fast manner around us, if you try to stand for a minute and try to look at in 60 seconds how we can see these components are adding to the online universe. Look at here, around 694,000 searches happen in a minute in Google, right? Around 600 new videos being uploaded in YouTube. So first time, around 6 years back when I saw the, the mobile phone, smartphone started coming with having a ready-made button of YouTube, which with a camera, which was basically telling us that take the advantage of this device, take a picture, and then go ahead and immediately upload to this universe. And that is exactly the reality today. Now that reality and that type of online booming, on the online universe with lots and lots of people getting connected and at the same time doing a huge amount of data explosion is bringing the challenge as part of our IT infrastructure. When you try to look at, the major IT trends which are basically, catering to this change in the environment. So first, these are basically 4 pillars you can look at, 4 categories that you can look at. One is that billions of endpoints, okay? You might have seen that as part of your own organizations, how each of the users are getting connected to your infrastructure. So if you look at today, it's normal way, any executive or any normal, user of an IT infrastructure carrying at least 2 devices. One is his laptop or a desktop, or at the same time having maybe another smartphone where he is also getting connected to the network for at least for the email purposes, right? So that means every individual is minimum having 2 devices. Now, when you try to look at the other smartphones, various other gizmos which are already available there, and then trying to look at maybe, when you will go ahead and have a lot of merger and acquisition, you will go ahead and get merged with another organization, people will come with multiple other devices also. Now, that is what is also becoming a trend that, okay, billions of endpoints, and at the same time, expectation is that always connected, right? You need to remain connected always. You need to remain connected with your application. You need to keep on getting the same access whether you are in the office or whether you are outside the office, right? At the same time, if you look at consumerization, IT is also changing the entire world. And on the third part, very important thing is the generation Y, is the young generation. So, it was a time when, having a laptop in the office was in, luxury for many of us. If you look at maybe 15 years back, that was the situation. But today, if you look at, I know each one of you might have also procured, a couple of such IT devices, even for the kids at home. So now look at the fast pace with which this entire young generation is also getting adapted and connected to this IT environment is also bringing in huge amount of challenge for us who are making an IT infrastructure to, serving and catering to the need of all such users. At the end of the day, all this connectivity growing, all these users growing as part of IT infrastructure is causing only one big challenge, that is the data explosion, right? Huge amount of data explosion is happening. Now, where do you go, or how do you go ahead and start looking at how we can solve this problem? So at Dell, we first thought that, okay, let us go ahead and listen to our customers. How do they think that, okay, how do, we can innovate something, how we can change something, how we can develop something through which we can help our customers to drive business in a much better way. So we launched this website called ideastorm.com, and let us look at this result. It was launched in 2007. Around 750,000 promoted ideas which were considered to be right one to look for us, right? Out of that, around 400 plus ideas we have already implemented as part of our various innovations that we are driving, in our various products and solutions, right? Now, if you look at, this was our way to listen to our customers so that we can go ahead and develop, we can go ahead and improve our products and offerings so that our customers can take and benefit, from the offering that we are making. So now all these ideas that we started receiving and we are still receiving from our customers, we have segregated them in terms of business unit because the need of a medium business organization will be different from a large corporate account. Like, the need of a government official running for maybe an OLTP application will be much different from another organization asking for a messaging setup. right? So the information or the comments or the feedback, provided various customer across business unit and then topic and also the sentiments. We are analyzing them thoroughly and then driving innovation as part of that, right? At Dell, when we started looking our IT complexity, so we are a $60 billion organization with around 150,000 employees spread across the world, and we also run a huge IT infrastructure to cater to the business need of all of our users, right? Various applications, there is sales, different departments like sales, finance, HR, internet employee, BPO services. For all of them, the IT infrastructure that we are serving, so we first started seeing that how best we can drive more efficiency as part of it. So we took that IT complexity in two parts. One is the unnecessary part and one is the unavoidable part. Now the component which are unnecessary, we took 4 approaches to solve that problem. We drove standardization, standardization in terms of the devices that to be used, standardization in terms of the image that to be used, standardization in terms of the connectivity that should be used, right? The way of connectivity that should be used. Second thing, we have driven this approach of consolidation of different applications, right? We have driven rationalization as part of our entire infrastructure, and also we have driven how much of automation we can drive as part of this infrastructure. So that was something which is helping us in the unnecessary part of the IT complexity. When you look at the portion which are unavoidable, that means you have to keep it, you have to break it down in 2 more other points. So one is the non-strategic part and one is the strategic part. So non-strategic part, we took an approach of saying that we will make it automate as much as possible, and we will try to adopt the cloud, whether maybe private or public or whichever way is best suits for the business, and we will manage that. Now on the strategic part, which exactly aligns with the business need, the core business need of the organization, that is where we want to invest money and we want to drive innovation so that we get more out of this investment. And this slide basically talks about the outcome of our own IT infrastructure, where we have driven innovation, where we have driven transformation, and the results that we have received, right? 30:1 server consolidation. Now, using the virtualization as a technology, when we were able to consolidate multiple machines on less amount of hardware, it not only helped us to save on the investment on the hardware, but it also helped us in multiple ways, where less footprint inside the data center, less power and cooling, and at the same time getting more efficiency, like a couple of these mundane or day-to-day job of provisioning, managing, failing over, doing maintenance of part of the OS or maybe hardware component became much more easy. And how virtualization can really help you to really go ahead and get that done, right? So we are very proud to share our own success story, how we have driven innovations and how we have driven transformation as part of our own IT infrastructure and then getting more benefit out of our investment. Now, how do you get there? It really matters. Now, on your left-hand side, on this bucket, we are capturing basically the products and solutions which are being offered by the leading IT vendors available in the market today. Often you will see that their offerings are closed and proprietary in nature. So that basically makes you to get locked in with them, and then you get you are left with very less choices. And then you need to basically see that over a period of time, you are paying a huge premium for the price. Look at from any perspective, whether it is an end user device or maybe the compute or maybe the application or maybe the core of the data center like the storage portion. Right? So at Dell, our philosophy is to offer basically something which is open and industry standard, so that you get more choice as part of building up your IT infrastructure as and when your business need grows up. Right? You should have solutions which are virtually integrated rather than looking at vertically integrated, right? You should be having solutions from Dell which are more capable and affordable. And at the same time, they are again scalable as needed. So our philosophy is that having an open architecture, having an open mind and offering more, giving more choice to our customer. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, our solutions are developed, innovated, designed in such a way that we are more efficient, we are more agile, and we are more resilient. Again, at Dell, what we have seen and what we are sharing with all of you and our customers and partners here is that efficient IT strategy, basically needs to be broken into these 3 domain areas. One, we are saying empower your end user and then run your IT more efficiently. And third point is that effectively manage your organization. Now, when you take this 3 strategy and try to look at which one are the pillars or the technology areas that you have to adopt, the blocks which are at the bottom of the slides basically talks about that. Adopt virtualization, adopt an end user component, governance, adopt again consumerization. Try to look at how you can manage your data in a much better way through this journey called intelligent data management. Look at where all you can take an advantage of the cloud, maybe private or public or maybe hybrid. Your business need will decide that, and then you will see that. But take the advantage of these technology pillars to get more out of your IT. That is where we are saying that, okay, do more with efficient IT. So what do you do for the business is what we are capturing here is that one key thing is that try to drive standardization as much as possible. Like I was talking about, drive standardization in terms of the end user device, drive standardization in terms of the application, drive standardization in terms of the platform that you will build upon which the application will be set up, drive standardization in terms of your compute power, drive standardization on the perspective where the data is getting stored, where the storage and networking component also coming into the picture. As much as possible, standardization will help you to move away from lots of operational hassles that day to day we face, and then you can spend your time and you can look at how you can invest your budget for IT also towards innovation, and that is what we say, do it more with efficient IT. Right? Now let us pause here for 10 seconds, and can you tell me what this picture means? Have you seen this picture? Okay, can you say that? What is this? Excellent. So this is basically the 5 MB hard disk drive in 1956. And if you look at today, the innovation has driven, that we are getting a 2 terabyte, a 3 terabyte hard drive also such as this. So this 5 MB hard disk drive was the size of this table, this podium that we have. And you can see the picture that 2 guys are carrying that, right? And that is what is happening. So, we have to be equally adaptable and agile to take decisions as part of our IT infrastructure revamp, as part of our taking decisions when the new projects are coming, how we are going to invest, which vendor to look at, which are the innovation areas that we should look at, right? So, from that, if you try to look at the storage as an infrastructure, so this is the storage forum, where we are going to talk throughout the day, not only just the vision and also the product and the feature set that we are driving, which are helping our customer to get much more out of the business. So it comes from a couple of these situations, that today's storage infrastructure, which you have, which we have as part of our data center, are normally, inefficient in nature. When we say that inefficient in nature, because when your first time investment happens, you come up with couple of requirements, and with those requirements, you look at the kind of the system that or the equipment that you should have as part of your data center and the investment that you make. But over a period of time, as and when the demand increases, because number of users are increasing, the amount of data is increasing, the connectivity is increasing, the performance or the speed at which you should get that data access is increasing. That is where the challenge starts coming, and that is where we start seeing that, okay, the storage infrastructure today which are available are inefficient, are inflexible, they are complex, but at the same time growing inside our data center, right? So what is Dell's point of view on storage is what we are talking here. We are trying to see how we can have a storage which is prepared for the next generation, a storage where the future is already built in, right? So we are saying that driving innovation as part of the storage where the virtualization can give you this similar type of benefit. So if suppose a hypervisor virtualization is already giving us so much of business benefit in terms of compute power, you know that earlier we used to put multiple application on multiple physical server, but today just by putting an hypervisor we can put multiple application on the same server hardware, correct? The similar type of virtualization we are trying to drive as part of the storage controller and as part of the storage equipment, which can give you much more flexibility, much more benefit from the storage infrastructure that you have. Second point, if you look at, so like the example you have seen that 5 MB hard drive becoming, a 2 terabyte hard drive in such a small place. So continuous innovation is already happening into the market, right? Various vendors are already driving so many innovations. Now what happens in storage is that almost every 1.5 years down the line, you get to see new feature sets which are available, which are not available on your previous storage. So like to give you an example, if you have today a model A, which has got some 10 features, and say 1 year down the line, you will see the same vendor will come back with another model called model B, where we will have 10 plus another 10 amount of feature. Now you know that today all these 20 features really looks so much fascinating, and you really want to take an advantage of that. But you cannot go ahead and change the entire thing. So if you have to do that, there is a painful process called forklift upgrade. So you have to migrate your data from the old model A to this new model B because you want to take an advantage. So this is called forklift upgrade. So at Dell, we also try to understand that, okay, how we can eliminate that process. So our design philosophy as part of our storage in such that you should not be having a forklift upgrade situation at all. So if suppose 2 GB FC port was available 4 years back and today 8 GB and 6 months down the line we are going to have a 16 GB port, it should be available as part of the same storage. And at the same time, you know that storage is not just a bunch of only couple of disks. There are lots of skilled, innovative software through which we get various type of feature and functionality from the storage. But the problem here happens is that every time you go ahead and change your model, maybe from the same vendor, you end up paying for that same software component. So how we can even reduce that paying again and again for the same software component? So that is what we are trying to say, looking at eliminate the forklift upgrade and also the software license renewals as and when you grow as part of the infrastructure. It was a time when I think, storage was more being looked after the way they are getting connected. Like, I know, like the concept of I have a SAN, I have a DAS, I have a NAS, all of you are familiar with all these terminologies, right? Those are all from the perspective of connectivity. But connectivity should not be limiting us, the kind of infrastructure that we should have. What we should be looking at is the scalability. What we should be looking at is that a solution which can give me much more virtualization, which is much more agile to help us as part of our business. So unified multi-protocol storage are really catering to that need. Right? At the same time, you have to also look at that there are lots of inactive data as part of active data and inactive data. How the inactive data can be moved to the low-cost storage and can help us to save our budget, and that is the tiered storage, right? Now, the tiered storage is an old concept. All of you are aware of that tiering part. The question here is that how much of automation we can drive, how much of simplification we can drive as part of the storage infrastructure through which you get the best of the bit tiering, you get the best of the bit thin provisioning, and you never have a forklift upgrade. And that is the core of our strategy in terms of developing or innovating our storage infrastructure and solution. Finally, it is the journey of making an intelligent way of managing your data so that your digital information, which is the data, the most important component of your business, does not remain as a burden, but it becomes an asset for you, right? So with that, I would like to stop here. I again welcome you. I again thank you for joining us. All the people who are also connected virtually, even welcome to all of you. I would say welcome to this spectacular, innovative world of Dell storage technology. Thank you so much.